Hey YouTube, welcome back to UniXTCG, and we just got spoilers for the new yellow Daima Vegeta starter deck, and so I want to kind of go over those and my first impressions. I think there's a lot to give with these, and it already kind of gives us the direction that we're looking for. So with that out of the way, let's hop into said spoilers. If you like the content, make sure you like the video, and if you love the content, make sure you give it a subscribe and join the UniX fam today. Speaking of Super Saiyan 3 Mini Vegeta, I just summoned for him on Dokkan on my second channel, so if you want to see how those went, just go down in the description, check out this video, it's on the screen right now, and yeah, let's hop in. Okay, so looking at the leader, what we have here is just a normal on the front, and it's just when attacking, draw one card, and then awakening. It happens at 4 or less life. The awaken side, first off, this art looks good. This art looks good, and I hope that at some point we get the starter deck treatment or some way of getting like a super gold foil one or something like that, like we did the Daima leaders. But this is a Vegeta Mini DA. When attacking once per turn, draw a card, and then if you have a rest mode battle card with a cost of 2 or more and DA in its card name in the battle area, you switch this card to active mode. So yes, this is going to be a little bit archetype restricted, so we're very much so going to be hinging on not only the cards that we get in this starter deck, but the cards that we get in set 6, because just like red Daima being a structure deck and then having cards that support it in the deck, I'm assuming that we're going to have the same thing happening with yellow. Now, let's go over these cards real quick because there's a lot of cool stuff here. Having a dual attacking leader is awesome. It sucks that you can't... what really sucks is that you can't dual draw with this, and because it's a win attacking and not an activate main, there's no way to get out of this. Like if this was an activate main, untap him, you would be able to swing unawakened, draw a card, flip him over, draw another card, and then you can untap him and swing again. But they pretty much made it foolproof to where there's no way this can happen. You have to swing with him, get the draw, and then he untaps immediately. However, swinging twice on your leader can lead to some pretty cool stuff, especially with some of the cards that we have coming up next. Now, this first card that we're looking at over here is Tamagami 2, looking pretty awesome, an SR from the deck, and the Tamagami 2 just basically 20k power. He's a 2 cost, which is good, 5k combo power, and then on top of that, when played, add up to 1 life card to your hand, so you do have the ability to actually just self-awaken, and I believe translations have been coming from one of my guys in the Discord, shoutouts to Chad. But effects, yeah, when played, add up to 1 card from your life to your hand, and then at the end of your turn, if you have 2 or more battle cards in your battle area that are in rest mode that have a cost of 2 or more, activate this card. So basically you can attack with them and then you can put them back to active mode. Now I will say that high key with no protection, this is kind of rough. He does count himself, so if you play him and keep him, you know, upright, and then you play another one, you attack with both of them, you can activate the ability to untap them both, if I'm not mistaken. They both will activate at the same time at the end of turn. They will count each other as a 2 or higher card in rest, and then you can choose which one resolves first. If I'm not mistaken, that's how it'll work. You guys can like hit me up on that. Maybe there's some judges in the chat, but this is actually pretty cool. Now that being said, a 2 cost 20k is one of the most removable stat lines in the game. Most things will be able to interact with a 2 cost, and then red can fairly easily take down a 20. So this is kind of not a sticky card, but it's cool that it can at least be there, and it does trigger your ability. If you have Tamagami 2 in rest mode, you will be able to activate this card, allowing you to potentially swing with a Tamagami 2, swing with something else, swing with your leader twice, and at the end of the turn, untap the Tamagami 2. Now, the next card, this card is actually what I'm really looking at the most. This is a Bulma DA, and this Bulma DA is, she says, when played, add up to 1 life card to your hand. Then, when you rest another card in your battle area, or when you rest another card in your battle area, choose up to 1 of your Vegeta mini cards, DA mini cards, and gains 10,000 power for the turn. So, what I have on this one is we have to see the official wording. But when it calls to resting a card in your battle area, I'm wondering if that means when you attack. Because if that's the case, you could play a Tamagami 2. And Tamagami 2, you know, takes a life, and then you play Bulma, and you take another life, and you awaken. If I'm not mistaken, this means that you could, like, attack with Tamagami 2. And then since you rested him to attack him, you can activate Bulma's effect. And then Bulma's effect the Bulma's effect will actually give you 10k power, and then you attack twice with your leader for 30k. When 30k swing on your leader twice is a very, very strong. Now, the other thing though is I need to see what the kanji say here. I need to look at this, because if we have an opportunity, right? We do have an opportunity, that this could be not a once per turn. The kanji, looking at the translation for this, and then looking at the cards that we know, this is I want to see if this is an activate main or not. Yeah, so that is the bubble for activate main. And actually looking at this, I do believe putting this through, I do believe you're switching this card to active mode. But this card is saying that basically, I believe putting it through the translator, because basically when you want to see this, this is the easiest thing. I'm just going to give you guys a kind of side tangent. Take these effects and overlay them with effects we already had. You can see that the kanji is activate main when it comes to that. Now, when this also says activate main, you can take this kanji on the screen right here, and you can overlay it with, let me see, I believe, I'm trying to see the closest card to it. I'm gonna have to fish for it, but you can overlay this with a couple cards. Like, look at set 2 Bulma. Look at set 2 Bulma. We can look at actually a couple of things, but the cool part is you can kind of see where this is going. But I do believe this kanji says that you can turn this one to active mode. But yeah, turning this to active mode, or turning this to rest mode, and you boost your Vegeta Mini for 10k. So that's at least on your turn. And since she's a 2 cost, that's going to allow you to actively activate Tamagami. Like, you have this like cool, like on 4 energy or 3 energy and a marker, you could play Tamagami 2 and then swing and then play this Bulma and then activate her ability to turn herself sideways and swing with your leader for 30k twice. So I think that that's actually a very, 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 very cool play, and we have a little bit more to talk about, but I do think that this is going to impact, you know, this deck pretty well. I think so. So when it comes to the next card that we have here, we have a Shin. And the Shin is a 4 cost, 20k, 10k power. I don't know why they keep doing this. This is like the Shin from the Red Diamond deck, except with 5k power less. It's still really easy to remove. But when played, add 1 card from your life to your hand, then you may play up to 1 Kibito Mini DA with a cost of 3 from your hand. So that's actually really, really cool, right? And I think that on top of that being the way it is, it also kind of opens the door to having, like, I think one day, once we get multicolored leaders, we're going to have our yellow-red Daima leader that can play both of the archetypes, you know? And if that's the case, this Shin can maybe play the 3-cost Kibito that has crit, things like that. But yeah, either way, I think that this is pretty cool. And now I want to kind of yap a little bit about what I think this means for yellow as a color. So I'm going to keep it a buck with you. I think that this leader is actually very, very good. Solid Awakening just being generic, but the pressure that this leader can put on is really awesome. And I think that this is going to have us look at all the cards that may be able to give a turn buff. I don't really think there are any in yellow, but we can check. However, just the Bulma alone, if there's a way to recycle the Bulma in the starter deck, or if we can find some cool, crazy combos, Bulma alone is going to get a lot of work done. Like, 30k is just a very good checking number versus most decks, and the ability to be able to put this much pressure on for the leader is, I think, just what yellow needed. Yellow already has a bunch of utility, but often yellow has to choose between affecting the board and affecting the actual life of your opponent. And I think that this is one step closer to them being able to be completely utility around the deck with some, you know, hitters thrown in there, but also be able to put in pressure with this leader. The turns where you play a Bulma and then swing twice and then that Bulma gets protected are going to be massive. Like if you're able to hit it with the time rewound and then not have them kill it, which is gonna be rare, especially versus red, you'll be able to put out a lot of pressure. But in the turns where like you really need to close out, and for 4 energy you can play 2 Bulmas and then turn them both to the side and then have your leader be a 40k twice. This is power that yellow has not really experienced before on their leader, and I think that's fitting because Super Saiyan 3 is new to the canon. So I think this is going to be pretty cool. I think that Vegeta will be able to have a deck that's a lot more free because a lot of your pressure and weight can come from your leader, and if we have any more cards that add on power for the turn, we should be able to very much so abuse that with this deck. So honestly, thinking about it, this is going to be a new starter deck. Every starter deck normally has 2 SRs. We just saw the Tamagami 2 SR, and now we need to see what we're getting as the 5-drop. Stereotypically, every deck, like I'm looking at my walls, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 came with new double strikes. 6 and 7 came with new double strikes too. Actually, sorry. Because the double strike came for green in the set. So 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, and 7 starter decks for Dragon Ball Super Fusion World all came with dual attackers, and green came with Broly 8. So this deck is probably going to come with another 5-cost SR, and we can see whether or not that's going to be a double striker or whether it's going to be something else. If it is a double striker, it will be something that can be sat here at you know, you could hit somebody for 2, and then, I mean, it's bad sequencing, but hitting somebody for 2 and then having something tapped to be able to swing with your leader twice, depending on what you have in hand to combo on it, can be pretty cool. But I do think that we are sitting at a position where we have a lot to go off of, and if you already have a field, you can attack with something, and then your opponent can be like, oh, I'll combo out of that, and then you can be like, okay, I'm gonna swing twice with my leader and make it 30k both times. Okay, well, I had to take one. I was like, okay, well, now I'm gonna hit you with my double striker or my boss card and go in. Now, one of the things I want to talk about with the Bulma though is, since Bulma says wow, mini DA, right? Bulma says mini DA, and if that's the case, then that probably leads to the double striker being a mini DA. Or the SR in general, but I'm assuming it's gonna be a double striker. The yellow doesn't have a second double. Well, yellow actually has 2 double strikers, so maybe it won't be a double striker because yellow already has Boo and Frieza. Most decks have most colors have 2 generic double strikers and then a conditional one, except green. Oh, they have a generic one and then they have a conditional one in Gohan, and then I guess they have a generic one in Vegeta too. So yeah, it pretty much fits. So yellow could be in for a 3rd double striker or just a really good utility card. But if it is Vegeta, I'm assuming we still have to get some Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta cards. We should be able to see something that can get boosted by this Bulma, which can really cause some huge impact turns, and I'm pretty excited. So yeah, with that being said, I'm going to close off this video. I do think that this leader has a lot of potential because anytime your leader is self-sufficient, it just allows you to build the deck so much more freely, and I think that's really a boon that yellow needs at this moment. So let me know what you guys think about this leader so far. Let me know if you're excited for more spoilers. I'm cooking a lot right now. I have been a little swamped getting the 2nd channel monetized, but now that it is, we're about to fire off on all cylinders. I've been practicing with the Patreon homies for regionals, and I'm about to really just explode with the card game content this week because, yeah, now that I've got the other channel situated, we can kind of relax a little bit. Daima's over. So I'll just be uploading, Dokkan content, some Sparking Zero content, talking about Daima as a whole, talking about the series as a whole. But now we can kind of slow down and get back to producing content for the regional season over here. And also, I'm trying to figure out where to start with Gundam. Mainly because Gundam has 5 more months. Gundam has 4 more months until we actually get the game. So I want to make sure that I don't burn myself out or kind of keep beating the dead horse. But what it is, what it is. Yeah, you guys, let me know what you guys think of this starter deck. Let me know what you think about this leader and the Bulma card in particular, because I really love that interaction. And I will see you in the next one. And like I said, if you guys are fans of Dokkan or just Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, or as he calls himself, Ultra Vegeta 1, go over to my other channel, Universe X, and check out my summons on Dokkan for him. Alright guys, I will see you in the next video. Later.